I'm Elena and welcome to Made with Yiayia. Today I'm going to be making a coconut cheesecake. Last time we made it, it was absolutely delicious. Today I'm going to improvise a little bit more and we're going to be adding a little pineapple twist to it. So it's going to be kind of like a Pina Colada cheesecake. So let's start baking. Oppa! So the first part of our cheesecake is our base. So the crust is what gives it that nice crunch as you're eating the creamy part of it. I'm going to be doing a gluten-free option today by using ground almond. The reason I like the ground almond, it's almost like the graham crackers because it still has the skin of it, so it's kind of a brown and white color, which is perfect. The almond flour is all white. So that's what I'm going to be using today for this recipe. So 2 cups of ground almond. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Graham cookies usually have a sweetness to it when you do a graham crust. The almond obviously does not. So that's why you always need to add a little bit of sugar when you're doing a nut-based crust. So 2 tablespoons of sugar, and to that, after we give it a little bit of a stir, we're going to add 1/4 cup of melted butter. So we can bind it all together. I've started to preheat my oven to 360 degrees. Because this part of it, we do want to give it a little bit of a baking, just so it can get a little bit of a crunch to it, because the top part is going to be a no-bake cheesecake. So try to incorporate all our butter. I've lined my baking spring foam pan, so that way it can come off a lot easier, and then I cut it around to size. And all we do, put it on the bottom, press it all around, and then we'll put it in the oven for 10 minutes. It's still, because it's a nut, it's not going to be as sticky as when you use your graham crumbs. But don't forget, you're going to be adding your creamy cheesecake on top, so it will bind it a little bit more together also. Because I don't really want to put a whole lot of butter. And there it is. It's ready to go in the oven for 10 minutes. So I have my crust cooling off. It was in there for 10 minutes. Now, as that's cooling, I'm going to start working on the actual cream cheese, okay? So we have 3 bars of cream cheese in the mixer. We're going to be adding 1 cup of icing sugar. You don't need more than that, but because don't forget your Cool Whip is sweet. We're going to be adding some other things that have a measure of sweetness, so you don't want to make it over sweet. Then we're going to cream these together and start incorporating the other ingredients too as we go. So our cream cheese is nicely whipped. It's very nice and creamy, as you can see in the picture. Now we're going to add 1 cup of milk. And 1 package of vanilla instant pudding. That's going to give us that nice vanilla flavor. 1 more little mix here of those ingredients. Now we're going to add the Cool Whip. So here's where I started to improvise last time, and it turned out amazing. I didn't have enough Cool Whip, so I only used the half that I had. So again, we're going to do half. I'm going to follow exactly what I did last time, but again, just with the addition of that little more of a flair. Make sure as you're going along, you're scraping the sides. Sometimes it mixes really well, other times because it's stickier type solution, it's kind of going on the edges. So you want it all to be blended nicely, especially since this is an actual no-bake dessert, right? So we want to make sure there's no clumps of anything or more Cool Whip in one place than another. All right, so it's getting more and more creamy now as we're adding in this various liquids. So this is what I did last time. I had coconut whipped cream. So I kind of improvised then too, about what kind of measure it. So I figure a good cup. There we go. Now I'm gonna add a cup of this one. There's also another coconut one that's actually in a container like this if you wanted to use that one instead. But we found the flavor was amazing with this coconut whipped cream also. So it's so nice and creamy. This is what you want it to look like. Beautiful. So now the last couple things we're actually just gonna fold in with our spatula. So to it, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of sweetened shredded coconut. And what we're changing it to now to make it a Pina Colada Cheesecake, we are going to add 1 can of pineapple. I've had it straining, as you can see. We don't want more fluids going in there. So yeah, I think the combination is going to be pretty amazing. So we're just going to fold it in. I like it to be the proper sweetness when it's there, so you have fun tasting it. So let's see now. Looks like it's all nicely mixed in. Looks beautiful. You can see that little bit of pineapple in there. Coconut was white, you can't really see it, but it gives it such a nice texture when you're eating it. I got my little clean spoon here. I'm just gonna see if the sweetness is okay. Actually, you could use a little more sweetness. So I'm going to add a little more Cool Whip. Another quarter. You gotta improvise, right? Perfect. Delicious. So now I'm gonna put it in the pan. It's nice and cool. Once I put it in the pan, I'm gonna cover it and put it in the fridge overnight. So the final tasting will be tomorrow because this is actually a special dessert for anniversary. So as you can see, it gets up really nice and tall. So this is gonna be a really nice, tall, beautiful cheesecake. We absolutely loved it last time. And I'm sure it's gonna be just as wonderful now with the pineapple. I'm going to garnish it with some chopped walnuts. So together with the chopped walnuts, we added a little bit of that shredded sweet coconut, sweetened coconut. So as you can see, beautiful. You can see those little coconut flakes on top too. And we're all set for tasting tomorrow. And we're back. This is day 2. We just had our amazing dinner with the anniversary dinner with the family. Now it's time to dig into our cheesecake. So first you want to go around with your knife to loosen it a little bit so it can come off a little bit easier. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Yum, yum, yum. Now we're gonna cut some pieces here so we can try this baby out. Alrighty here. Let's see how this is. Ooh. Oh, that first piece is always the toughest. Come on. There we go. Wow. Now that's an amazing tall cheesecake. Alrighty. All right, my little taster, come on in. You can grab a spoon. And I'm gonna get a spoon. And you get a little scoop. And I get a little scoop. Ready? Let's see how delicious this is. Ready? Let's go. We give it a thumbs up? What do you think of the pineapple this time with the coconut? Definitely a game changer. So I'm gonna name this Pina Colada Cheesecake. Delicious, people. Please, 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 my dear friends and family out there, give this a try. Now the summer is coming up. Beautiful, refreshing dessert. Definitely cheesecake. You can never go wrong with cheesecake, right? And that's it. I'm Elena, and this is Made with Yiayia. Oppa!